I'm Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch network. Look, as a litigator, watching what Special Counsel Jack Smith has been doing in all of the cases he's prosecuting, but specifically in the Southern District of Florida before Judge Aileen Cannon, a very hostile and corrupt judge. To me, it is brilliant. It's like the Mona Lisa of litigation to watch this prosecution unfold. How methodical, how meticulous, how efficient, how every word Special Counsel Jack Smith uses is so precise, and how Jack Smith thinks 10, 12, 15, 20 moves ahead, and then watching when those 20 moves happen, and then going back and then seeing the motions where he laid the foundation. Y'all remember the movie The Sixth Sense at the end where Bruce Willis realizes that he's actually speaking to the young, well, I won't ruin the end of the movie for you if you haven't seen The Sixth Sense, but it has that ending where it was like, whoa, that's what went down the whole time. And to me, Jack Smith, it's like that. And I know I geek out a little bit, but let me kind of explain to you the masterful work that Special Counsel Jack Smith has done to kind of lay the smackdown to Judge Aileen Cannon. First and foremost, the efficiency of discovery. When Special Counsel Jack Smith sought the indictment, and remember, utilized a Washington, D.C. grand jury to develop the evidence, then utilized the Southern District of Florida grand jury to indict. But when Jack Smith sought the indictment, he was ready to go to trial like the next day. Jack Smith requested a trial date in December originally. He said, look, I'm ready to go. And then with respect to discovery, Jack Smith turned over basically all of the discovery other than the classified information immediately. He said, I'm ready to go. Not only did Jack Smith turn over all of the discovery immediately, he did the work. He dummy-proofed it for Donald Trump and Trump's lawyers. He knew Trump's lawyers were going to go in there and they were going to say, oh, there's so much documents, we don't know what we're doing. Jack Smith's team created the whole roadmap, electronically stored all of the documents, made it so easy to search the database with keywords and search terms. When Jack Smith went through all of the surveillance footage, he put the specific key times of when everybody was going in and out, did all of the work for Donald Trump's lawyers so they cannot whine and Jack Smith can say, look, I am absolutely ready to go. And the only reason why Jack Smith didn't turn over the classified information right away, he was waiting for Classified Information Procedures Act or Classified Information Protections Act protocols to take place. And Jack Smith realized Judge Aileen Cannon, she's got no clue at all what she is doing. She's never done a SEPA case before. And her corruption is matched by her incompetence and her lack of intellectual curiosity. So Judge Cannon's not even like asking people for help. So Judge Cannon's setting public SEPA hearings. You can't set a public Classified Information Protection Act hearing. They all have to be under seal, and she's striking documents that she shouldn't strike. As Special Counsel Jack Smith's like, oops, you're wrong here. You're wrong here. You're wrong again. And then finally, and I did another video on this, you'll notice that a lot of the proceedings right now are taking place under seal, because where Judge Aileen Cannon demanded that Jack Smith immediately respond with information that Jack Smith was trying to file under seal, Jack Smith's like, okay, well, if I have to answer that question, you see, Judge Cannon, what was going on here is that Donald Trump's political action organizations are paying for the lawyers that are representing the defendant and co-defendant who was brought in the superseding indictment, and a bunch of witnesses, and where there was a conflict hearing called the Garcia hearing before the Washington, D.C. grand jury. One of the witnesses fired the Trump-appointed lawyer, brought in independent counsel, and then admitted that he lied to the grand jury back in March of 2023 when represented by a Trump paid-for lawyer. And that witness Your Honor, Judge Cannon then provided the critical information that led to the superseding indictment. That's why there's a Washington, D.C. grand jury. So thank you for asking me a question that you learned from Fox News the night before, because now I got to make that public filing, and now you want everything to go dark. Now you want everything to go under seal. Jack Smith was just waiting for that move, and then bam, said, well, here you go, Judge Cannon. Is this what you wanted? And now you can see she's doing a lot of these proceedings under seal. So first discovery, Jack Smith has just been pitch perfect, everything ready to go when the indictment was brought. As I just talked about, that key thing that happened in the DC grand jury where one of the witnesses who lied then realized, oh, wait a minute, Trump is hiring lawyers for me to protect not me, but to protect Trump. So Jack Smith, I lied. I'm sorry, I lied. If I tell you the truth, will you prosecute me? And Jack Smith's like, look, cooperate, we'll see what happens. I'm referring to, of course, Yusel Taveras, the head of the IT who was control of the surveillance footage at Mar-a-Lago, because remember, you had Donald Trump, Waltine Nauta, and Carlos de Oliveira, according to Yusel Taveras, who engaged in a conspiracy to tell him to destroy surveillance footage. And the timing, the fact that Jack Smith did not bring in Taveras in the original indictment. He had enough information to do that. And Jack Smith didn't bring in Carlos de Oliveira, the head of maintenance, in the original indictment, even though he had enough information to do that. He brought the original indictment, then applied the pressure of target letters to Carlos de Oliveira, the head of maintenance, represented by a Trump-appointed lawyer, Yusel Taveras, represented by a Trump-appointed and paid-for lawyer. And then Yusel Taveras is like, I'm out. They did it. Carlos de Oliveira didn't do that. De Oliveira got prosecuted in the superseding indictment. Yusel Taveras did not get prosecuted, is a cooperating witness against Donald Trump. And now other witnesses who have been represented by the Trump paid for lawyers, they're like, oh crap, I see what's going on. De Oliveira, he continues down this path. He gets prosecuted. Yusel Taveras tells the truth, points the finger at the people who were engaged in the criminal conspiracy. Taveras does not get prosecuted. Do I want to be Taveras or do I want to be Carlos de Oliveira? And witnesses are saying, I want to be Taveras. So Jack Smith is getting even more cooperation right now as well from these witnesses who are leaving, being represented by the Trump paid for lawyers. That's a sophisticated move right there, that Jack Smith knew that all of that was going to happen. That's how he brought the superseding indictment. And then Jack Smith, while doing all of this, was aware that Judge Aileen Cannon was probably going to set a trial date far in advance, that she was not going to accept the trial date set by Jack Smith. So Jack Smith actually, though, set a trial date. He said, look, I want to go December of 2023. And the reaction from Judge Cannon was, nope, I'm having you go in May of 2024. And what Judge Cannon, in trying to screw over Jack Smith, now did, and Jack Smith knew this was going to happen, her trial is now at the end of most of the criminal cases that are taking place, right? I mean, in the civil cases, look, in October, you've got New York Attorney General Letitia James' case. Right now, in January of 2024, you have both the Manhattan District Attorney's case in in January 4th, 2024. In January, you have two civil cases. You have the E. Jean Carroll civil case, and then you have a class action against Donald Trump. In March of 2024, March 4th, you have the DC federal criminal case. And then later in March, you have the Manhattan District Attorney case. And then in May 20th now of 2024, you have the Judge Cannon case. But Cannon's created such a legal quagmire now. And Jack Smith, if you think about kind of like a fighter and kind of gaining position and gaining ground, right now, Jack Smith's sitting in a position where, look, I got the DC case first. Perfect. That's exactly what Jack Smith wants. You have all these other cases taking place. Jack Smith feels comfortable and confident that when Judge Cannon screws up, which there hasn't really been an appealable order yet, he's going to go to the 11th Circuit and he's going to say, look, she screwed up like 10 times already in this case, and remove her, or for the third time, issue a scathing order, and then we'll seek her removal after you reverse her again. So I think Jack Smith is okay now with this case actually going slower and being very aggressive with the inexperienced and corrupt Judge Aileen Cannon, because he set the framework, he set the chessboard as I've described, where he kind of pushed the situation where Donald Trump, Judge Cannon were outmatched. He's now has them finally recognizing how you actually follow SEPA for the first time, but they screwed it all up. He now got all the other cases to go first, got the witnesses to recognize, okay, I should be cooperating with Special Counsel Jack Smith, and has taken full control of the chessboard here. Well, Donald Trump's not even playing chess. He's playing like one-dimensional checkers, and Judge Cannon is just like, what's going on here? I'm trying to help you, and now I don't know what's going on. I'm exaggerating slightly, but Judge Aileen Cannon, her plan, like, she's just been so outmaneuvered. And yes, I geek out a little bit, but I wanted to show you how these pieces all kind of fall into place. Have you checked out patreon.com/MeidasTouch yet? patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Learn the origin stories of Michael Popak and my other co-host, Karen Friedman-Agnifilo. Brett just got back from Japan. Learn about that. You'll gain some cool insights into us at patreon.com/MeidasTouch. Have a great day.
At MeidasTouch, we are unapologetically pro-democracy, and we demand justice and accountability. That's why we're spreading our message to Convict 45. That's right, gear up right now with your Convict 45 tees and pins at store.meidastouch.com. That's store.meidastouch.com.